Okay, hello. Welcome to lesson 4. In lesson 4, we are going to learn about gliding, which is a different way of moving that, in my opinion, looks much smoother and does give you a better overall visual, unless you are using a character like maybe a ghost or a fairy or something that kind of just pops in and out of existence. Then the regular movement we have done does look pretty cool. But if you want something a little bit smoother, we are going to look at glide. So there are two different ways that we can glide. We will cover the X and Y axis gliding later, but first we are going to do this one. So I'm going to pick it up over here and attach it to my start button. And watch what happens when I click on the back. So what happened was he glided for 1 second to some random position here on the screen. Let him go. So totally random. We don't know where he's going to go. Scratch, the program basically rolls a dice and is like, okay, this is where he's going to go. We have no control over it. So if we click on this, we can change it from random position to mouse pointer. Now, here's the problem with that. If we click on our sprite, our mouse pointer is going to be right here. He's not going to go very far. So if you wanted to move him very, very slowly, this would be an option. But we don't really want to do that. So I'm actually just going to pick a different start button for now. I'm actually going to pick the space key start button. So let's attach that down here. And I'm going to put my mouse cursor up over here by this guitar. Now let's watch what happens when I press the space button. It comes to wherever my mouse is. So that's pretty cool. Now I'm going to go back up here to motion and I'm going to grab if on edge bounce because I don't want him running off the screen. Okay, so now I'm going to switch it back to random position and let's see what happens. Bounce, bounce. Okay, that was pretty cool. Let's change it though. Let's have him glide for like 5 seconds. Now let's see what happens. Pretty cool, right? He hit the edge and he bounced back. So that is our basic gliding motion. Let's have a look really quick at what will happen if we take this away and we go to our X and Y axis glide. If you haven't learned graphing in school yet and you didn't watch the graphing portion of lesson 3, go ahead and skip this and go on to lesson 5. Okay, so let's grab our glide button and it's very similar to the one we just did. Glide for 1 second, but instead of going to the mouse pointer or to a random position, he is going to go to whatever position we assigned on our graph. So if I want him to come over here by this little pagoda set, I'm going to bring him over here, and I know that his position is -136 and 25. -136, y25. Okay, now I'm going to move him over here. And he is going to glide for 1 second in the direction of -136 and 25. He's not going to make it all the way over there in 1 second. Check out what that looks like. You know what? I was wrong. I misspoke. He did make it all the way over there in 1 second. But if we change it to 5 seconds, look what happens. He moves much slower. So if we want to change up his speed, that's probably the easiest way for us to do it. We can determine how long it's going to take him to get to a certain place by changing how long it takes him to glide there. So we want him to move across the screen really slowly, check out what changing it to 10 would look like. Very slow, but he will eventually get there. So if you want a slow moving sprite, this is the best way to go about it. You want a very fast moving sprite, but not 1 second fast. Just change it up. Maybe try 3. Let's see what 3 will look like. Pretty fast. You get the idea. So using the glide option in conjunction with your plotted position on the graph is a great way to specifically tell your sprite where to go, but also to determine how long it will take him or her or it or them to get there. So that is the end of this lesson. We have learned how to glide. In our next lesson, we're going to learn how to turn our position. All right, I will see you then.